Hello and welcome back to Vinderlandia. Last time we just finished up Wittsville and we've begun the Jolly City Central, this new metropolitan section down here. It's going to be brilliant. Let's get right into it. Apparently we've got a lot of abandoned houses. Why this is beyond my understanding. I don't know. I mean, Goatsburg shouldn't have a single problem out here. What, are there too many cultists for you at this point? Are you concerned that you're going to be overwhelmed by them? Well, don't worry. We have a National Guard here for a reason. It's kind of a thing that we need to have, just to make sure the cultists don't go crazy. Well, we should probably get into the Jolly City Central. Yeah, so let's get right in there. Let's see. I know there's other abandoned buildings out in Neo-Marketopia and such things, but I'm not concerned about those. They are not our greatest concern at the moment. Although, one might say that they're definitely a serious concern, I would say, what are you talking about? We have offices to build, offices that will plan a variety of things, all focusing around how to get people to join Jolly City Central. And look at what is paid off already. Look at this. The Heather residence. There's one person in the household. Well, no, there's like 5. But that's good. 1 out of 9 households. How stinking nice. We got one family in there. Let's get them a park just to spruce things up just a bit for these guys. What do you think they want? No doubt they're a family. The family of Jolly Cooperation. They're totally going to want a playground. That's going to be where it's at for these people. They're going to be like, we need to bring our children to playgrounds so that they can understand how to cooperate together as a group. And how else can they do that but through amazing, just like children doing their thing at a playground. Be great. Let's get a small park in the office central of the Jolly Cooperation Central. That is what it's called, right? Nope, Jolly City Central. I'm going to continually forget that name because it is a ridiculously hard to remember name. Here we go, look at this. They're building up now. Oh, yes. Unity shall be our greatest goal. So what do we have? Cultopia? We just padded you out with some really nice things, just like got you a bunch of new people, and the first thing you decide to do is just move out. Great. Can you just not handle the fact that there are more people in Cultopia now? Is there like a schism in the cultists group? Is that what's going on? I see how it is. All of these newfangled younger cultists are trying to change the cultish way with their newfangled ideas like memes and cats on the internet, all things that these older cultists just can't wrap their heads around. Why would any cultist care about these sorts of things? It's all about goats. Goats on the internet, not cats. We can't sacrifice cats. That's absurd. Who's ever heard of a cultist sacrificing cats? Nobody. Well, maybe one person. I'm sure someone in Goatsburg will come out at some point and be like, hey dude, I totally heard about this guy down in Piscatchewa who totally, he's a cultist and he sacrifices cats. And of course, everyone in Cultopia is just going to be like, what are you even doing here? Get out of our town. And then those who aren't like that will be like, I don't even care. That doesn't matter. Look, we're sacrificing goats and you can't stop us. Because that's just the mentality of Cultopia all the time. That they have to sacrifice goats. I mean, one might say that most of the cultists in Cultopia don't actually even like the cult anymore. But it's more just they have to get their fix somehow. Ah, poor Cultopia. It's just a hard life over there. Get this. Ooh, this one is so much nicer. Look at that. Every little square all filled in. Brilliant. Brilliant. Jolly City Central is slowly building up. Let's see. How are you, Brandenburg? Oh, Wittsville. What is up with this? So many commercial buildings, all just disappearing in the blink of an eye. Come on, Wittsville. You've got tons of people. You can keep these businesses running. Let's do this. We need to all work together to make sure that all of the businesses are running smoothly. I just destroyed a fully functioning commercial building, which really, that's just going to be an example to all of the other commercial buildings that if they choose to not work, just to go out of business all the time, that's it. They're done. We're going to get rid of them. Oh. Got a bit of a traffic jam here. Perhaps these roads need a bit of upgrading. Let's see if we can upgrade them. I know we're not working on Jolly City Central right now, but that's only because they just need, right now, the time to expand and get some people in initially. Okay, the answer is no. No, we can't build that. Because the stinking stadium, I believe, is in the way. Unless, no, it's this thing. What is this? There's a building right here. It's a firehouse. How dare you be in my way, firehouse? You're very important to us, but not so important that you can just be in the way all the time. There you are. And then let's get a 4-lane going here. There's a park in the way there. Shut up. I know that the upgrade tool can do that. You don't need to tell me that, game. Calm your butts. Just because I'm rapidly clicking on a park doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing. Just means I'm slightly confused. There we go. That should be far enough away. Then we do a quick upgrade here. There we go. That should help with traffic flow in this particular area. Literally doubling the quantity of cars that can go along that particular stretch of road. It's brilliant. Just brilliant. Nice. Okay, so that little issue is done with. Let's see how Jolly City Central is doing. Lots of offices, not a lot of residential. That is so sad. I'm so sad for you people that you can't manage to bring people into Jolly City Central. What do they need? You have to speak to me about this. What precisely is the most important thing? Perhaps an elementary school? Or a high school? There we go. Look at all these services. See, they're going to be freaking out in a moment. They're just going to be like, what? Previously, my children literally had to take a bus, which doesn't exist because there's no buses in Jolly City Central. They had to take a bus all the way through the octopus, down here, into Bat Town, and go to, like, I don't know, Poorly Placed? Stinking Poorly Placed. Yeah, I mean, they'd have to go to someplace like Poorly Placed, and they'd have to have terrible lessons about how to be Batman, how to punch people, and the parents would come home and they'd be like, oh, these are the worst lessons my kid could ever learn. I don't like it. But now they get to go to happy fun times. All of their children get to go to happy fun times where they learn how to cooperate. And this is being Jolly 101. I know we've been over this before, having an entire building for one class. Not very efficient, but get over it, okay? It's what we have to do. So many children have to go through Jolly 101 that we need an entire building just for that one single class. It's essential. Okay. Looks like we're filling up on offices. We can potentially get a few more in here. And by a few more, I mean absolute butt tons more. Just so many, but only on the slowest speed. There we go. Fast speed. That might explain a lot about the expansion of Wittsville so far. It'll expand much faster when you literally hurdle it through time like a little stone thrown from a sling, which is a really antiquated analogy at this point, but I'm going with it anyway. Here we go. Let's just pipe up the next section while we're waiting for a bit of expansion. We're going to have tons of offices on one side, tons of residential on the other. Commercial, of course, promotes capitalism, which promotes an us versus them mentality, which the Jolly City Central just hates. They're trying to push communism, and so they don't want any ridiculous little commercial buildings in there. So, you know, some people call them crazy. Some people call them slightly cultish. But in reality, all that these people want is to bring everyone together under the same roof. But not a roof of tyranny like one would find in Brandenburg. No, this is a roof of mutual happiness. It's so brilliant, isn't it? They literally feed you happy pills all the time, but it's okay. The happy pills are good for everyone. Let's just get rid of these other abandoned buildings out here. Get out of here, buildings. I don't like you. You're all trying to infest my city with vermin and other vermin in the form of homeless people, which is really mean to homeless people. That's really cruel, but sometimes you have to be cruel in order to be kind. Sometimes it's just what you gotta do. This place is still called Filler, isn't it? Right? I named it that a long time ago. What are we gonna actually call this place? Bus Depot Central Place. Done. Enter. Bus Depot Central Place. Oh, it's Boss Depot Central Place. That's good enough. Look, it's close enough. Boss Depot. Awesome name. Perhaps this entire section of commercial is actually run by the company Boss Depot. I wouldn't doubt it at all, really. Oh, look at this stupid little roundabout thing. So brilliant, isn't it? So stinking dumb. At least there's not a lot of traffic going through it. Speaking of traffic going through things, how's the octopus doing? Brilliantly! It's like it's in salt water already. Oh, yeah, okay. Jolly City Central. Slowly expanding. You guys, you need to... Everyone in these offices needs to work a lot harder towards getting people into Jolly City Central. That's your only goal, your only prerogative is to get people in here. And you're doing nothing to do that. Nothing at all. How dare you? Get a little park in here. If the people in the offices aren't going to do their job, we're going to have to do it for them. And incentivize living here with amazing little parks. Look at these parks. They're kind of silly. Look at them. You can either go to the right or to the left. And they both lead to just some plazas. How nice. In such a metropolis as Jolly City Central, which actually isn't much of a metropolis right now, because there's barely any buildings in here. A park like that is very essential to keeping people sane in such a dog-eat-dog world. Of course, it's not as dog-eat-dog in Jolly City Central because they don't actually promote cannibalism. That's more for Cultopia, but only on Saturdays at 12:42 p.m. with your tea. Any other situation, cannibalism is very frowned upon. But at that particular time, you're perfectly fine. Go for it. Do whatever you want to. Just sink your teeth into your friend. I'm sure Bob tastes delicious. Okay. Let's terminate these buildings. Nice, nice, nice. The Unnamed Lands has been doing its thing for like 200,000 years. Just sitting there with all of its offices. Brandenburg is just sitting here being awesome. Well, outside of the whole oppression and tyranny thing. Witzville is literally throwing tomatoes across the entire river. They actually created slingshots on this side to shoot tomatoes filled with glitter across into Brandenburg just to bring a little sprucing and just, make life better in Brandenburg. The people of Brandenburg responded by trying to sue them, which you can't... Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, little notes. But you can't sue the entirety of Witzville just for the actions of the majority of the people of Witzville. That's ridiculous. So it didn't go through. They were very angry about that. But civilly angry. Not so angry that it was strange, but just angry enough to show that they meant business. Here we go. Let's get this all set up. We're going to have a nice curve heading out towards here. And it's going to connect right up with the end of that 6-lane road. Right here. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? I think that's nice. It's pretty good. If I were to rate it from 1 to 10, I'd rate it pretty good. It's just brilliant. We'll have this one come down here and do another little arc in that direction. Jolly City Central is, of course, all about circles, because circles bring people together in unity as they hold hands together forever. And no, there is not a single part of Vinralandia that cannot at some point become incredibly ominous about what they do. It's just a weird place filled with weird people. By the way, we've just gotten over 70,000 people. Amazing! What can I do? Can I click on the population panel? Will it bring up... Tell me about my people! No! They're not going to have it. Not going to have any of it. Fine. I accept that. Good enough. No, I need to do it from here. We're going to continue to plan the roads as the Jolly City Central slowly builds up. Because it just wants to take its sweet time in unifying the entire city. I would prefer that they did it a bit quicker, because then I wouldn't have to worry about offending literally everyone in the city with everything I do. Because that's kind of an issue right now. Half of the people are like, we want this. The other half are like, we want this other thing that's completely opposed to it. And if you don't do either of these, we're not going to vote for you next term. And I'm just like, oh, dang it. This is not the best situation in the world. Look at that. A nice little H road system. Brilliant. Yeah. It's a hard life being the mayor of Vinralandia. You have to keep up with the cult, which in and of itself is a very difficult thing to do, because who wants to look at what the cult's doing? I mean, I would prefer to turn a blind eye to the cult, but I have to, because there's a legitimate amount of voters who are in fact cultists, and I need to pander to them if pandering is necessary, which it usually is, because pandering is the way to go, man. Just gotta pander to everyone. You have to put on the Batman mask with scarlet cultish robes and a goat behind you wearing a tie and clown shoes. Oh, my goodness. That's such a good image. I just love that. The mental image is there right now. That is amazing. Okay. Continue to build up Jolly City Central. By the way, I'm building the roads particularly like this so that there's more of a distance between these stops along this middle and these side roads, which I think helps with traffic a bit. Look, I'm just guessing. I'm just trying something new. Some new idea to try to revamp the Jolly City Central and bring people into it so that they're not like, is this a cult or isn't it? And I'm like, it's definitely not a cult. It's just a section of the city. And then they point to Cultopia, and I'm like, no, 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 definitely not a cult. Definitely not a cult. This is just about cooperation. That's it. And working together and unifying the city. And then they're happy. And then they go to Jolly City Central and they become even happier because they took so many Jolly pills. It's concerning. One would think that they'd have overdosed at that point, but no, they didn't overdose. They were the lucky ones. Gotta say. There we go, some more residential to build up there around the high school. That'll be nice, won't it? Well, Jolly City Central continues to build up very nicely. We've got almost 71,000 people, which is just brilliant. And look at the city. It's just, it actually looks kind of good. Not great, because I can't build things that look great, but it looks pretty darn good. There's patches that need to be filled in. There's an entire section that needs to be built, but overall, it's working out pretty nicely. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Jolly City Central needs to expand in the future so that it can unify everyone together under one roof so that I don't have to wear ridiculous clothing when I go to pander to the voters. But until then, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.